Welcome to the Jay Franzi Show, your source for the latest news, reviews, and interviews, with insights you can't pay for and stories you've never heard.
Just so I could piss right next to Tom Petty.
Garth turned out to be the most loyal artist of all time.
Smoked weed with Willie.
That was the most surreal, tension moment.
So I knew I already had a strike against me.
Now, here's your host, Jay Franzi.
And we are coming at you live. I am Jay Franzi, and if you are new to the show, this is your source for the latest news, reviews, and interviews. And if you would like to join in, comment, or fire off any questions, please head over to jfranzi.com. All right, my friends, tonight we have a very special guest with us. I said it once, I will say it again. We have a very special guest with us. We have a concert photographer. Hailing from the great state of Ohio, we have Tom Rentz. Tom, sir, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
It is my pleasure. I asked you to come on here tonight so we could talk about concert photography and all that goes into it. It is an angle that we don't typically get to discuss on the show, so I thought it'd be fun to talk about. But before we get started, I have to know just how far away from the bear were you?
Wow, you've been stalking. Far enough. I didn't have to. No, I wasn't. They tell you to stay about 100 yards away, and I think we were that.
100 yards enough?
There was a big ass bear. I think if it's the one that you're talking about, because we just went to Yellowstone to do some wildlife stuff, and I think his name is Van Gogh. He's got one ear, and he's the meanest bear, evidently in Yellowstone. He kills. This sounds bad. He kills cubs so he can have relations with the woman, then goes back up into the hills. I don't know if that's true, but that's the story.
That's the story.
But yeah, we were far enough away. Yeah.
I only asked you that question. I mean, first of all, I think it's very cool.
Thank you.
It's definitely very cool. But I told my family one time that I liked bears, and now every Christmas, every birthday, everything, I get some sort of bear or something.
It's a blessing and a curse, I guess. Yeah.
So I saw your photo, and I was like, wow, that's really cool.
Have you been to Yellowstone?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I have one time with the wife and kids.
Okay, yeah. We went out there intentionally for for me, I did, intentionally for photography. And man, I'm telling you, I had lens envy out the people's cameras and lenses setups were just, I've got a pretty good size focal length lens that I can use for it, and their shots can do, but man, some of them it's just stupid big lenses. But if you want to go out there and go to Lamar Valley. It is the Serengeti of the United States, and it is absolutely breathtaking, and it was just absolutely a blast to do. I could have stayed a lot longer. Let's just put it that way. I want to go back.
We have been all over every place that you should run into a bear, and I've yet to run into one.
Really? My daughter went down to Gatlinburg. You've been to Gatlinburg?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All the many years that we were there when I was a kid, and anytime we were there, never saw bears. Never.
No. Uh-uh. And they walk down the street.
Now they're walking down the street. She saw like 6 bears in 2 days. I'm like, what? I don't get it. Whatever.
Yeah. We went to Lake Tahoe. I never saw any. Gatlinburg, never saw any. Went everywhere. Any place that you would think you'd see a bear. I did see one. I was driving cross country and I saw a baby cub walking down the railroad tracks somewhere in Pennsylvania.
Really?
So that's
in Pennsylvania?
Yeah. Of all places.
Of all places. Well, maybe you're like that natural bear repellent. Maybe people should take you with them. We drove everywhere, and 9 times out of 10, if you see a boatload of cars, there's a bear. And when you're in Yellowstone, if there's a boatload of cars, there's a bear. That's all. You don't even need a guide. It's that easy. But it was very cool. But thank you for asking about that. It was a lot of fun. I want to go back for sure.
Yeah, no, it looks fun, and the pictures are great. So
I appreciate it. That's my first time trying that one, so at least that out there, anyways. But yeah.
All right, so back to the music world, because 98% of your photos are music related.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
And I have noticed, and it's crazy to me because I saw your pictures. We had an opportunity a couple weeks ago to shoot the same show. And I have some photos, and then I look at your photos that are very similar, the same person in the same scenario.
Right.
And your photos have a much different look than mine do. So I saw that. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then I went back through your Instagram and your pages and stuff. And all of your photos, you seem to have a style. Can you tell me a little bit about how your style came about?
Yeah, it's funny. No, I mean, yes, I can. I think it's something that you do over and over and over, and you like a certain thing. You know, I have this discussion with other concert photographers, and sometimes when we're in the pit or, you know, pre-show, we're in like down at Riverbend, we're in the trailer, right? So we have time to have conversations and see what everybody's up to and talk. And there's certain people that have the same type of shots, and then you've got like these new kids. I want to say kids, but you know, we're older, so they are kids, and they have their own style, something that they've seen and they replicate. For me, I don't go for the artsy side. To me, I feel like people like an artist. They want to see the artist. They don't want to see people's arts per se. Do you know what I mean? It depends on the show. It depends on who's on stage. Like I just did the Totally Tubular show the other night, and I got some shots of Thomas Dolby, and a nice tight shot of just like shoulders up. To me, it was a great shot. It all depends on the actual artist, but a lot of times, I don't know, Jay. It's kind of weird. I like a tight shot. I like more of a portrait shot for the client or the artist, or if the lighting isn't particularly just unreal. Yeah. So that I saw the sunglasses, and I was like, look at the mirrored glasses, and you can see the reflection of people or his keyboards, and black and white to me he probably didn't like it, but to me it was Thomas Dolby. It was just him. Others, it depends on the feeling I'm in the pit at that moment. It is funny because other people have said you have a certain style, and I guess I do. Maybe I know what I like, but it's hard to tell you if there's a great stage and the lighting. I use a 14 to 24 lens. It's a pretty wide lens. It doesn't bend. It's not a fisheye. It captures that. But if they're up close to me, to me, it's just like, okay, I love that. That's cool. And sometimes you don't even notice it until you're editing. You're in the moment, and I'm sure that you've done the same thing. You're in the moment, and you're just looking at everything. You're not even really paying attention too much. You're just kind of looking through your viewfinder, and you're just in the moment. And I see stuff, and I try to capture it. It's not 100% hit, but I burst, and people are like, "Why do you burst?" Because I want to capture the moment, and it's digital. I can delete.
Right. Well, that's a good question. So you burst. How much do you burst? Do you have it set to a certain amount, or is it until you let go?
Until I let go. Yeah, it depends on the moment. I mean, if I will watch the artist, and if a lot of times what I'll do before a show, I will YouTube their show if it's available, and I will watch because pretty much they're choreographed. I feel, and I think they are. They have positions where they go, and they have certain things they do on certain songs. So if I can pick up that in their video, I'll kind of pre-know where they're going to jump and when they're going to do something. And if I've shot them before, I know, right? But I just watch. I try to watch the artist because I look to see where they're going to go. And there's other, if you haven't done it before, it's hard to really know until you've done it enough. And I still miss a lot of shots. Don't get me wrong. I miss a lot. It pisses me off sometimes because I'm like, damn it, I was the other way and I didn't see that coming. And I was more on this person and I should have been over here, but it happens. But yeah, I don't know. Do I have a style? I guess I do. I like the tight portrait looking shots. I like depicting the artist the way they are instead of some artsy thing. And that's just, I mean, I don't know. You can see the Billy Idol picture here to the back. Of course, I made the black and white. I like black and white shots. I don't know how you feel about them.
Yeah. No, I think they're great.
It depends on the moment, but I really like a black and white shot. But
I like black and white when it's used for artistic purposes, not necessarily used for corrective purposes.
No, and sometimes lighting and whatever, but like the other night, there's some nights it's just like the lighting's so bad,
Just nothing but red.
red or yellow or pink, and it's just like red. Sometimes I like, actually, not for the black and white because it's dramatic. Metal shows will have that. I think some metal shows, which is actually one of my favorite genres to photograph,
Yes.
is metal. I used to not like it at all. One, because I didn't like the music so much. Now I absolutely love it. Godsmack, Disturb, any of those, Marilyn Manson, Zombies, any of those I love. I'll play that in my car the whole time, but they're so dramatic on stage. I love country music, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love country music. You were in Nashville. They don't move a lot.
No.
I mean, and they stand right behind the mic, and it's like, God, give me something. Step back from the mic. Look over here.
Right. Does it bother you when the microphone is in the face at all times?
That's when I get a tight shot. Yeah, it does. It depends. Oh, 100%. It's like, you don't want to show a photo of half a microphone and half the face.
Right.
It just drives me insane. I wish, you were in that industry. Do they not give them any type of?
There's coaching all the time.
But do they listen?
Apparently not.
I guess not. No, and it's not about us, right? It's not about the photographer. I want to feel like we're relevant today, concert photographers, but I don't know. All I know is I've been doing it 30 years, and every time I'm in the pit, I'm happy enough that I got into the pit, and I'm happy that I'm there. It's like, it's heaven. It really is heaven. It's 3 songs and out, and I'll drive an hour and a half for 3 songs, right? And I'm like, damn, was this really worth it?
I did 5 hours just the other day to go south of Nashville.
And yeah, but how long were you there?
I went there, took the photos, and turned around and came back.
Did you really? Okay.
Now, I met a couple people for dinner and stuff, but yeah, I mean, I went there and turned around and came back.
But that's what we do. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just what
and
we
I would
do.
it again tomorrow.
Yeah, well, so last 2 weeks ago, I think it was, I was approved to shoot AC/DC and Pretty Reckless.
Nice.
I photographed AC/DC back in probably 97 or 98 with film, by the way, which was a great show. It was up here at the Nutter Center in Dayton, Ohio. And it was an amazing show. I just, it's AC/DC, right? So I got approved to shoot AC/DC and Pretty Reckless. And I was just stoked to do that because it's AC/DC, right? And I really wanted to photograph Pretty Reckless because, 1, she's just a hell of an artist.
Right.
And 2, I've never shot her before.
And I can't imagine those two being together.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen some artists that I couldn't believe were together. Brantley Gilbert and Five Finger Death Punch. Didn't understand that. Didn't get it until I was there, and then I watched Brantley Gilbert, and I kind of got it because he's more metal than country.
I did Five Finger Death Punch a few days ago when they had Cody Jinks opening up for him.
Wait, at Riverbend?
Yeah.
Did you get that show?
Yeah.
Huh. Good for you. It kind of ticks me off.
Well, good. That's my intent. I wanted to piss you off tonight.
How'd you get it? So anyways, I got AC/DC driving up, son of a bitch, I-70. If you've ever driven up I-70, which is just a construction hell, got stopped in traffic. I left 2.5 hours early before the show. Driving up, there was an accident, stood in traffic, stopped traffic for an hour and a half. Didn't make the show. I didn't make the cutoff to get into Pretty Reckless. By the time I got up there driving around looking for parking, couldn't find parking, missed the cutoff at 7:45 for AC/DC, drove all the way home. 5.5 hours in a vehicle, never made the show. So don't go I-70, ever.
No.
I go the back way now. I go 35 to 71. It's much smoother.
71 is so much better than 75.
Oh, it's ridiculously better. But yeah, I mean, just stupid things like that. I mean, but you do it because you have a passion for it. I was so upset. I was so ticked.
I don't blame you.
I was so ticked.
I mean, I've seen Pretty Reckless before with Hailstorm, and that's just one I want to talk to you about because I know you've had an opportunity to shoot them. I've worked with them several times, but I've never had the opportunity to shoot them. I would really like to. I would like to shoot them. I would like to have them on the show. Those are kind of the dream guests, the dream shows.
Bucket list of artists.
Yeah,
the bucket list.
For sure. But before we leave the subject, I want to kind of touch back on your style because I want to point out what I feel like the difference is in your style to me.
Okay.
Because I remember we both shot Blake Tyler,
Mm-hmm.
and this was at the VOA festival. And I thought, okay, cool, I got some pretty good shots, and I was happy with them. So I was like, okay, it's a good shot. I like it.
Yeah.
But then I remember this specifically because I was laying in the bed next to my wife, and I went to Instagram, and your feed popped up, and this photo came on. And I was like, okay, now that's a photo. And let me tell you what I feel like the difference is between your photo and mine.
Okay.
I feel like mine is a picture of Blake on stage doing something cool. Okay, fine. Mm-hmm. Yours looks like he's walking out of rubble. Like there's something, like some sort of rock and roll feel to the edit. Like, you know, the haze looks kind of foggy. It's kind of got a gritty look to it. And it looks like he's just walking out of rubble, like he's conquered the world. So what is it that you do in that editing process that makes him look like that?
Well, first of all, Blake Tyler, I feel like he's going to be a very big up and coming artist. I really like everything about him. Nice guy. His band is incredibly nice. Just super nice people. The shots, again, using the 14 to 24, a lot of it is settings and then dialing it in. And then when I'm editing, I try to bring the contrast and the dehaze up a little bit. And sometimes it's lighting outside too. When you're shooting a festival like that, sometimes it's actually kind of hard doing daylight because you got the sun coming in from the west. It's super bright. He turns around and there's a shadow or something. That one itself is partial editing, bringing up the saturation and things like that. But in the moment, it's really the shot. I didn't do too much editing to that shot. The smoke on that back, I kind of maybe a little, but I'm not, Jay, I'm going to be honest, I'm not great in Lightroom Classic. I can do the basics. I've gotten a lot better in the last couple of years. I will say that, playing around quite a bit. But on that particular, on him, I did the same thing, I think last year with him. And that's how we kind of started talking, Blake and then his guitarist. He's photogenic, but that stage there, just the backlighting and all that, and then the screen behind there, it really can just make a very dramatic photo. And when he's coming out, I always try, the last year I did it, and then this year, when he's walking down that catwalk, that's again, positioning yourself to knowing what's going to happen. And if you were off to the side, you would have missed you missed the moment, right? So it's more knowing where to be at the time. For me, it's that kind of a setup. I had an incident like that with it was Disturbed. Oh God, what's the name of the band? Motions in White. Is that what they're called? I can't remember. But he likes to come out and get in the crowd. And I saw him start to do that. I knew there was a setup. They were setting up a ladder. I saw him bring a drum out from underneath the catwalk. And the house photographer, this was at Heritage Bank, I said, everybody was up near the stage because everybody stayed back there. And I said, come with me. I said, you got to come back here. Hurry up. Come back here. And we positioned ourselves on each side of him on the ladder. And I had, again, the 14 to 24 because I wanted a wide shot. And I just burst. I just let that sucker go. And he's just banging away on the drums. The fans are going nuts. There's a spotlight. I knew there was a spotlight coming in on him from the back of the stage. And I thought, this is going to be a great shot. And it ended up being a really cool shot. But it's just, I think for me, it's just trying to figure out and knowing the best position to be. And sometimes you're there, sometimes you're not. But then like I said, I like to do a nice It's a lot of it is editing, I think.
I noticed too, like even one of your other shots that you got the sky is blue and the flag is, perfectly colored. And that's hard to do in a festival when you're outdoors and
Sure.
it's like a
No,
wet.
that's edited. Yeah, that's bringing saturations. That's bringing down the whites. That's bringing down the blacks and stuff like that. I played a little bit with that shot for about a couple minutes because it's like, damn it, I got to get this one. I wanted to get the flag where it was a little bit more open.
Right.
I mean, I like the red, white, and blue there, but it's a country show, so it's you wanted to depict the USA, and he's all country boy, and it's trying to set up a shot. It doesn't always happen, but sometimes it hits at the right place.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a great shot, and I love the flag in the background.
Yeah. They had it positioned differently last year, where it was a little bit flown. It was actually closer to the stage, if I believe. But you weren't there last year, right?
No.
Yeah. Blake's he's going to be a great artist, but he asked me to come down, and that's when we met, because I was like, yeah. Blake texted me, he's like, you want to come down? I'm like, sure, I've got nothing to do. That's fine.
It's funny. Blake was on the show before, and Matt McClure, who is his manager, was on the show before as well. But Matt McClure is one of the producers that I worked for when I was in Nashville. He produced a lot of the Lee Bryce stuff. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Lee's a great guy.
Yeah, Lee was a great guy. Super nice.
Mm-hmm. So is that who you told me you were, the gentleman you were talking about when we were in the pit?
Yeah, when we were in the pit, I don't know if you saw him, but he was standing off to the side with his wife. But yeah, Matt McClure.
Oh, I met his wife. What's his wife's name?
Renee.
Yes, I met her backstage.
She was probably the one that gave you the pass.
She did.
Yeah.
She did. She was very, very nice. Very, very nice. Again, homegrown guy, and I hope he has the biggest success. I hope he's shooting that way. So
yeah, he's I won't tell him this, but he's a talented man.
Yeah, don't tell him that.
No, I can't tell him.
Yeah. You want to give him a bigger head.
Not bigger than he already has.
Shoot.
All right, so I kind of like that. I mean, I'm like you. I'm more of the minimalist when it comes to editing, because I want to capture what was truly going on and what the artist is all about. I notice a lot of people in the industry do these crazy edits where they put spirals in the background, and I mean, I get it. It's an art in itself, but it's not the art that I'm interested in. I'm interested in capturing their art. So I think you do the same thing, but you seem to do it in a way that technique-wise, you shoot the portrait style stuff, but you get very good coloring. You get very good everything. The lighting is good, the coloring is good, the positioning is good. So you can tell that you put a lot of effort into not only what happens after the fact, but you're putting a lot of effort into what's going into it as you're taking the shots.
Yeah, well, one, I don't want to make the artist look bad, right? Because that's our whole goal. Is we're supposed to be there to make the artist look good. And they won't have you back if you keep putting bad stuff out, right? They're definitely going to say, I don't want that. And I don't want to make myself look bad either, right? I mean, I look back now at stuff I did back when I first started. 30 years, if I haven't learned more and gotten better in 30 years, just hang up my camera and my lenses and just call it quits. So I learn every time I'm out. Everything, stage isn't the same every place you go. Lighting isn't the same. So you have to adapt pretty quickly under the circumstances. I think people forget that we're only there for 3 songs.
Right.
So it's unreal that if you get to shoot a whole show, one, I'm overshooting, I'm editing for days. 2, I'm only there for 3 songs. So what I get in those first 3 songs, I'm working my ass off to get those shots. Yeah, we only get 3 songs. So what we capture in that shorter period of time,
right?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I did a show a while back, and I loved it. I mean, I thought everything about it was cool. I was happy with it. It was in Annie's Music Center. Do you know where that's at?
No, I do not.
It used to be Riverfront Live.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did 2 shows there.
But it was indoors. And
yeah.
It was dark and only red and blue lights. The only two colors they have.
But I think that's like 10-foot ceilings in there, maybe 12.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
Pitch black and not a great lot of lighting. And there's no pit, right? So you're in with everybody else, or you're off to the side. That's the other thing. That's the other thing probably people don't realize, that if there's a pit, you're great, right? There's been pits I've had to crawl over subs and kind of lay on top of them to even get a shot. I mean, it's so tight. Sometimes it's like, but you still figure it out. You figure it out.
The thing that I thought was funny is I was there and I end up, like you said, you're on the floor with everybody. So I ended up getting closer and closer to the stage with every move of somebody else. And I was literally dead front, standing in front of the singer, and she did something really cool. And I had this giant zoom lens on that I couldn't do anything with. So I just pulled my cell phone out and took a picture with my cell phone. I got a better picture with my cell phone. It was probably my favorite picture of the entire night. And it was with my cell phone. So I'm like, oh, okay. Because
that can do auto detect, auto lighting, and all that stuff. Yeah.
It did wonders.
Yeah. So I have a story like that, kind of. First show I ever shot. I thank my wife for this whole kind of career that I've had, because I built a dark room in my basement. For those people who don't know what a dark room is, you process film, you do your photos in the dark room and everything like that, old school. So I did that. I built one in the basement. My wife said, if you're going to build that, you're going to do something with it. So I'm like, okay, I've already got our own business and I've got 2 businesses. Now you want me to do that? Okay. All right. So I got a job at a local paper, and KISS came to town, and I'd been there a little bit, and I said, hey, I always wanted to try concert photography. Can we put in and do a photo pass? And he said, yeah, we'll do a spread. We'll do a full page spread on it. I'm like, okay, cool. So I get there, I got a will call. I have 2 film cameras. I don't have the harness and everything I have now. I had 2 separate straps. I had what I have on this side, I had a 24 to 105 on one camera and a 70 to 200 on the other film camera. Went to will call, got my press pass. You have to go back to the loading dock. All right. So I have to rush to get back there. Dropped my one camera with the 24 to 105. Busted the lens right off the body. The only thing I have left is a 70 to 200. And I got some amazing shots. It's KISS. There wasn't full stage shots. It was, again, the portraits of Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, and Ace Frehley was there at that time, and Peter Criss. It was a full band. It was Psycho Circus. And I have a shot, and it's my first shot that got me hooked into this career. I was so addicted after I got that shot, because my wife told me to do something with it, and the lens busted on my one camera, which the camera was fine. The lens was screwed. I just wanted to do this all the time. Then it was boy bands, right? It was NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, all those. I have photos of Destiny's Child opening up for Christina Aguilera down at Riverbend back in the day. And now look at Beyonce. I still have a Beyonce dollar, or Destiny's Child dollar. Yeah, it's a Destiny's Child dollar bill that they gave out as souvenirs.
Well, you mentioned KISS being your first show. I mean, you can't ask for a better one than that, with the makeup and the lighting and the pyrotechnics and everything else that goes on at a KISS show.
I was scared shitless. I was, because I had never done a concert before. That's throwing me to the lions. It's not going to Bogart.
It's not just doing a concert.
No, it's not. It's a full-on Broadway show. I mean, it is everything a rock show should be. I mean, everything a rock show should be. KISS is, I mean, that's why they're famous, right? I mean, they knew how to put on a show, and they still do today. Yeah, that kick-started everything for me. I mean, and if you ever got to see KISS, or if you've been a photographer and you've got to photograph KISS, they love the camera.
Oh, yeah.
Your first 3 songs, they are in your face. Paul Stanley puts a guitar pick on his tongue and he looks at you, and they're just amazing to work with on the stage. Yeah, that was throwing me to the lions, and I came away from that. I'm like, this is one of the coolest things you can do. To me, I thought it was just absolutely amazing.
And it is. It is by far. But I have some technical questions to go along with that stuff. I want to go through a bit here because you've shot some people that I really think would be good shows, or even just some of my favorite artists.
Okay.
But as you're talking about things, the moments with Kiss and guitar picks, or the moments where they're paying attention to you or pointing at you, those are moments that every photographer wants to get. They want to
Sure.
get that one moment where the artist is looking dead in your eyes, or that one artist is pointing at you. And you even got that the other night or the other week at the festival where the guitar player for Blake Tyler did a split and looked dead in your eyes.
Andy, yeah.
I mean, so you kind of build that relationship with these artists that you've worked with on multiple occasions, and you're getting these shots. But you mentioned earlier the rapid fire, so you get multiple shots at one time. Are you using the rapid fire at those moments as well, or do you know when that moment's coming and you get the one good shot at that time?
I've missed some of those shots more than I've gotten those shots, honestly, because I wasn't ready for them. I can remember a couple where, in fact, technically wise, I had the you know how you focus on a focus area.
Mm-hmm.
I had it in the wrong position because I was maybe vertical and I would have been horizontal, and they would come and stick, like the bass player would stick the neck of his guitar in your face. Well, my camera picked up the neck of the guitar and not the artist.
Right.
And you go back and you're like, all right, I got to rethink this. You're like, I missed that. How the hell did I miss that? Yeah, you just kind of. Andy, I knew just because I've shot him a couple times, right? And again, that's what I said. If you YouTube or you've shot him before, or you've known, you know, they're what they do, you'll know. You know, if there's a riser, know that they're going to be up on the riser, right? If it's a heavy metal or any type of pop band or whatever, if there's a riser at the front of the stage, yeah. Andy, I talked to him backstage and I said, "Are you two going to come down, down the catwalk at all?" I said, "If you're not, please do, because I want to get you guys both." And he loves that. He loves to do that. That's one of his like go-to moves. But it plays. I mean, I love it because it's better than just standing there with your doing this, right? I mean, he's very dramatic and he understands the game.
And he did a great job.
He looks good for it. I mean, it's a good thing for him to put out there that, he's more than just a bass player. He's a
showman.
He's good. He knows what he's doing. A lot of artists, there's so many artists that love to play with the camera and if you do your homework ahead of time, you know which musician or which artist is going to do that kind of stuff for you. And then sometimes I kind of cherry pick. I see the other photographers and I'm like, okay, I know this guy's going to do something soon. I'm just going to move over here real quick and let him. Yeah. And sometimes I do it because I feel bad because nobody's shooting that. It takes a whole band to make a band, right? It takes all those musicians to make a working functional family. So I want to give them their kudos at the same time. The drummer, of course, because the drummer is rarely lit and doesn't get a lot of time, and the bass player, unless they're, like Andy. And
That's a good point.
They can flare a little bit. Yeah, I think when you're looking at a stage and you're watching a show, you just if you go in raw from the band, you sometimes you don't know what you're going to get. Again, I've been doing it a while. I can tell sometimes when things are going to happen, or a lot of times what are going to happen.
Well, that's a good point. You mentioned is getting photos of the entire band. And I think that's something that I try to do when I shoot, especially the local bands, because they feel equally as good and they're going to be proud of it and they're going to share them. And, that's what happens. But one of the things you mentioned in there was focus and focus points. So can you dive a little deeper into that and talk to us about how you utilize focus points?
Sure. I mean, if I'm horizontal, I'm top middle, right? If I'm horizontal, I'm top middle. If I'm vertical, I'm top middle or middle, up there. I try to keep it centered, right? Sometimes I try to keep it off centered. Sometimes I'll do off centered. One, because I want to show more dramatic to the left or right. When I do my photos like that, I want the art to go where it's going. I don't want to be too close to the edge over here. If he's looking to one way, I want your eyes to go, okay, it's going that way. You don't want to make, I'm trying to figure out how to tell you it's so different when you're trying to describe what you do. It's really kind of hard to figure out.
I'll struggle for a little while. I like this.
Thanks. Yeah, appreciate that. You want your eye to lead, their eyes to lead where they're going. You don't want to middle it and do it. You want some dramatic to flow with the shot. Sometimes I'll focus in, and I always like to keep the whole neck of the guitar as well. Mm-hmm. Some people will cut off the neck of the guitar, right? I like to keep the whole neck of the guitar in. One, because it should be. Two, sometimes if they're chrome, sometimes you get a reflection from the light and you get a little starburst from that. He actually reused a lot of my shots, actually. Oh,
we're talking about Neil Sean from the band Journey.
Yeah, Neil from Journey reused some of my shots. I don't get paid for this. It's all for free. And there's going to be photographers that are going to go, well, you're kind of ruining it for the rest of us because I do it free. Would I love to get paid for it? Sure. But I don't know too many photographers that get paid unless they're a tour photographer. Right. If you're just freelancing, you're not getting paid. You got to do it because you love it. Some people are lucky enough and get paid. It depends on their publication, but I do it because it's my golf game. It's what I tell everybody.
Right.
You should be getting paid for doing your photography. My brother says that every once in a while. And I'm like, do you get paid to go fishing?
Right.
And he says, no. And I said, shut the hell up. This is my fishing. This is my golf game. It gets me out of the house. I truly enjoy it.
Yep.
But yes, for that one, if I were to crop that a little bit, first of all, we're back. We're front of the house. We're at the soundboard. So this isn't in the pit. Lately, it's been a lot of front of the house.
Yeah.
And it makes it harder to get tight shots. That's editing.
Well, I have a couple of quick questions on that as well.
Okay, go ahead.
So first of all, you mentioned cropping and not cropping the head of the guitar off or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, especially coming from a musical background. I like to include the instruments and all the part, unless you're doing it for a purpose. There's always the exception, but then there's also crop points on a person's body. My wife she's a trained photographer. She gets very offended if I cut people's feet off. Now, granted, she takes family photos and things like that are still. But do you ever have a concern, like if you're got almost 98% of the body, but you cut the feet off or something like that?
No, because I do it when I shoot them. I hate using that word. When I photograph them.
Yeah, we shoot them.
I shoot them, yeah. I go in with the intention that I know I'm going to crop it. Not all of them, but I look at the photo and go, I need to leave some area so I have some area to play with. It depends where I'm shooting from, honestly. If I'm in the pit, it all depends on the angle where I'm standing, because sometimes the stage is 6 feet high. I'm 5 foot nothing. And so, it makes it a little tougher for me to get full body unless using that 14 to 24, which is one of my favorite lenses ever. Sometimes it's also the position of their feet. I mean, again, we're trying to make the artist look good. I've seen things where their legs are cattywomp and their legs are just positioned, look like, not good. And so that's when I kind of clean it up and kind of move away from it. You want the drama of the photo. That's what you want.
This one here, if I had cropped it just above his boots, my wife would have given me hell.
No, that would have been bad. You needed his boot in there.
Right.
Okay, on that one, you have to, just again, because of the positioning of his legs. His boot, his foot's raised up a little bit in the air. It's kind of dramatic. And
it's part of the pose.
Yeah, it's part of him. Yeah, I think if you're talking family photos compared to music, it's different. Yeah. It's a total different thing. But yeah, the music. Sometimes I get a shoe in my face. I've gotten that before.
It's funny that you mentioned that. I don't know if I have it on here from that same day. This one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Talk about having a shoe in your face.
Yeah, I've actually got one where they actually stuck their foot towards me on purpose. Not like this. He kicked, right? And he did that on purpose. But I actually had him, it was a rap show, and they kind of put their Nike in my face, but it was on purpose, and it was great because he's got his hand like this and the microphone and the foot in my face, and those are the kind of ones that's the ones you live for, those kind of shots.
All right, so let's go back to your Neil Sean photo for the moment. And we're talking about, you mentioned being stuck at front of house. Now, for those who don't know, front of house is where the audio engineer sits, and it's
a distance back.
So if we're talking about a distance like that, what kind of lens are you using for this photo?
So I've got a 180 to 600.
Holy cow!
6.3. Well, it's not the best lens because it's the aperture on it's a little too small, or it's not. 2.8 would be great because then it would let more light in. Right. If people don't know what that is, you have an aperture from 2.8 to 22. The bigger the opening is the smaller number. The smaller the opening is the higher number, and that's going to be more in focus. 2.8, you just want that kind of light. You want light in, and 6.3 sometimes is not enough on some shows. But the great thing with digital today, you can push your ISO, your film speed, pretty high and still be okay. I typically don't go higher than 3,200. I know people that'll go 64 or 6,000 above, and I just can't do it. I just scares the hell out of me.
So
I've done 4,000. I take that back. I've done 4,000.
All right. Don't be lying to us now.
No, I've done 4,000, but you're a distance away, and to get shots, it's tough. It's tough.
So for the technical geeks who want to geek out for a minute, can you tell us the settings that you used on that photo of Neil Sean?
No. Honestly, that's probably 3,200 ISO, 6.3, 6.3 aperture, and I'm probably at 500 shutter speed. Because the adage is you got to be at least the focal length in your shutter speed, right? So if I'm at 600, you need to be 600 above. Now, I use a monopod, and I'm on a ladder. Again, I'm short, so I'm on a step ladder, and I have a monopod, and that keeps it pretty steady. You can't handhold at that distance. You have to have a monopod.
Or with that heavy of a lens.
Well, I can handhold for a while, but not steady. Not super steady. That's what I use for outdoor wildlife. But for this, it's always a monopod, and the God of Graces, their lighting is out of this world good.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're talking that big of a band that long, their lighting's good. If you're in an arena show, you're pretty much guaranteed good lighting.
Yeah,
not all the
those
time.
are my favorite shows, by the way.
The arena shows?
I like the small club stuff here and there, but arena shows are my favorite.
I think if you're a concert photographer, you want the big ones. You want Riverbend, you want Heritage, you want Nationwide. You want to go down to, I did, what's the name of the Nashville? Is that Bainbridge?
No, Bridgestone.
Bridgestone, I knew that. Gainbridge is Indianapolis. Yeah, Bridgestone. I shot Duran.
Oh, yeah.
Down there. I've gotten in with their PR a little bit. I might be going to London if they'll let me come over there and shoot the show in London on Halloween. My wife's a huge Duranie, so I've got to photograph them and meet them. God, when I first started back in 97, 98, I've been around them a little bit.
Yeah, I remember they came out when I was, still in high school, I think.
Oh, God, they, if I get my wife in here, she could tell you exact date. I think early 80s, but they're a fun band, too.
Well, that's when I grew a liking to Journey as well. I think it was 1983 was their Escape tour. Mm-hmm. And that was the first concert I ever went to. I had, maybe... I say front row center, but it was probably 10 rows back. But it was awesome.
That's close.
Yeah, it was very, very close. And that was at the Boston Garden.
And you know what tickets would be today, right? How much they'd be?
They were $40.
Funny thing is I photographed them twice now in this last tour. And I'm going to be honest, back in the day, I was not a Journey fan. But what's so funny is we got tickets. Our friend from London came into town. He's a big Journey fan. So we went and saw him. I didn't realize how big of a Journey fan I was, honestly, because I sang every frickin' song they played. I knew all the lyrics. I had no idea. I was like a closet Journey fan. I had no idea. But they're great on stage, right? Yeah. Even though there's really, 2 original members?
Yeah, only one. There's 2 original from the time frame we're talking about in the 80s, but Neil Sean's the only original member.
Oh, not the piano player?
He's from the 80s.
Is he? Okay.
He came in roughly the same time Steve Perry did. Which
okay. Well, you're talking OG Journey. I'm talking the Journey that I know.
Well, Neil Sean was in Santana at 15, and him and Greg Rowley from Santana, the original keyboard player and singer.
Really?
They started the band Journey.
I didn't realize that the drummer for Santana was his wife. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that till I photographed him about a month ago. Huh. So, little tidbit of information.
See that? All right. Well, a couple things you mentioned in there. The front of house and using a monopod and step stool.
Yes.
Okay. So it's good to know that you were able to bring those tools in and utilize them. But do you ever get any grief? We say front of house. You're blocking somebody when you're doing that. So do you have any restrictions to a step stool?
Yeah. You're told ahead of time if you're allowed a step stool or not, or you'll email the venue and ask if it's possible. Typically, when we're front of the house and the venues that I go to, you're in front of the cage, the bike rack in front of the soundboard. There's nobody behind there. So typically we're okay to go there as long as you're not in front of the lighting guy or the sound or some of the technicians that are in the cage. But typically I have not had that problem. There has been shows that we've been at Riverbend where we're by front of the house. We can't use a step stool, but we're also elevated, right? It's theater seating. But there's people who buy tickets right behind the soundboard. Why? I don't get it. But we'll be standing there for our first 3 songs, right? And most of the times I joke with the people behind there. I'm like, look, I'm short. You can see over me. We're here for 3 songs and then you're good. And we move around. And we try to play nice with them. But we've had times where a guy got pretty physical with another photographer. He was a taller guy. The photographer was a taller guy, and he was kind of blocked. We paid good money for these seats, and I get it. We're meaningless in the scope of things, right? It's about the fans, and they pay the money for the tickets. But we're also there to do a job as well, and we try to make it as minimal. But sometimes it just happens. I mean, you just can't. You can't avoid it. You're there. You have 3 songs. They've allowed you to come in, but you're always going to get that one guy.
Yeah, well, that's all right. I'm like you. I always apologize to the people around me and let them know that I'll be quick and I'll move. And 9 out of 10 times they just look at me and say, "Oh, don't worry about it. Just do what you got to do."
Yeah, I offered giving free photos. I'm like, I'll get here. What's your email? I'll send you some shots.
Yep.
And they probably sold them and made money, and I didn't.
All right. Well, we were talking about the zoom lens. So you've got the monopod, you get the step stool, and you got a zoom lens that is, you say, isn't that great, but it's still fantastic enough to get shots like these. Mm-hmm. So do you run into any challenges when it comes to that lens?
No. Okay. So when I say that, I take another camera, right? I take it with a 70 to 200 as well. When I'm doing those kind of shows, and if the lighting's good, I like to get the crowd's hands up and then a dramatic shot like that with, I'm back behind them, and they've got the other thing that kills you is you see all these people with phones. All right. So you're getting all the screens, right. You're getting 1,000 screens going towards the show, which I don't understand that as well. That's another thing. But, I try to use that. No. Have I had a problem with it that I've been too close? Maybe once or twice, but I always take a second body with me with another lens. Sometimes I wish I took a smaller lens as well, I always carry three. Let's put it that way. I carry three bodies, you saw that, 3 bodies, 3 lenses, because I don't want to change lenses because it takes time away from what I want to do.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if you only have 3 songs.
Yeah. So I'll always have the 14 to 24, the 24 to 70, and the 70 to 200. And if I'm feeling really frisky, I'll bring my another camera on the long lens as well, and I look like I'm going to war. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah, there's the kind of shot. That's Ghost. Yeah, so I want to try to get. The funny thing is that's not the particular shot, but there's one where there's 1,000 telephones. Oh no, I'm sorry, not this one. He doesn't allow telephones, so that was beautiful. That one's different. He doesn't allow phones at his concerts. You have to pack them away. You have to put them in a bag. And it was funny to go to that show because not a lot of bands do that. People are actually sitting down and talking to each other. They weren't on their phones. They were there and they enjoyed the show. I love that band did that, honestly, because these people enjoyed every minute of that show. It's a crazy show. It's a great show.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, he's a hell of an artist.
I'm going to a show in September that is telling us no phones. And
What show's that? You're allowed to tell me.
Phoebe Bridgers. It's like a Taylor Swift, Lana
Oh, really?
Del Rey type style. It's
And
my
where's that
daughters.
at?
It's in Columbus. But
Phoebe Bridgers.
that is a treat for my daughters.
Oh, really? Where's it at?
Whatever arena is up in Columbus.
Oh, it's an arena show?
Yeah.
Why do I not? I'm gonna have to
She's
look at my.
huge. I mean, she's
I'm
like
gonna have to look at my schedule.
she's like Taylor Swift level huge.
Phoebe Bridges?
Phoebe Bridgers.
Bridgers. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that one up. You're not gonna shoot the show?
I would love to, and I'll apply because I'll be there. But
Okay, let me ask you that. Do you take your spouse or your kids to shows that you're shooting?
not typically.
Okay.
Not because I wouldn't. I mean, for one, my wife doesn't go to. I get backstage passes to a lot of shows because I've worked with all these people for years. And
Right.
They're always nice enough to invite me out. Nobody goes to shows with me.
Because you've done so many.
I went to Five Finger Death Punch last year, backstage passes. I ate lunch with Marilyn Manson, ate dinner with Five Finger Death Punch, and I couldn't get a friend to go with me. Couldn't get anybody. They hand up. So, well, I know that now.
Yeah, I put in for Marilyn. I hope I get it.
Definitely a unique individual.
Mm-hmm.
But I took my daughter to Brooks and Dunn, and we had backstage passes, and they treated her like a champ. She was 9 years old at the time.
Wow.
And we went backstage, and we got to see everybody and all that. I mean, it was really, really cool, and they were very nice. They took her on stage. They let her see the warm-ups or the sound check for Megan Maroney and stuff, and
Oh, wow.
they treated her like a rock star. But most of the time, they don't want to go. Nobody would go, but we had a blast. She had a
Wow.
blast. It was a good time.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Megan Maroney. She doesn't allow photographers a lot of times. Scotty does.
Yeah.
So I photographed Brooks and Dunn up at Schottenstein or Nationwide, I think 2 years ago. That's funny because you've worked with I probably photographed a lot of people that you've worked with and don't even,
Well, I noticed.
you can sit here and just tell me this person, that, but I'm like,
I noticed going through your portfolio that I'm certain we've been at the same show at the same time on a number of different occasions.
Did you do mostly country?
When I worked in Nashville, I recorded primarily country. I did get to work with a few metal bands,
Okay.
but it was primarily country. One of which was Hailstorm. I got to not work with them musically. I got to, do some other projects with them.
That girl.
It's fantastic.
Are you going to be at the show coming up?
Well, that's a good question, too. How far in advance do you put in for the show?
So the guy that I work with on Tour Magazine, we have a calendar, and sometimes it's like you find out there's a show coming, like the Jonas Brothers, which you probably won't get, but whatever. You go in the calendar and who can get there first, right?
Right.
He's kind of the owner of the magazine, so he can take my name off if he wants. But yeah, I mean, my calendar's full. Like next week, I have one every day for 9 days, if we're approved.
Right.
I put in for Garth Brooks for this week. I heard that he doesn't allow photographers.
Well, that's funny you mentioned Garth Brooks.
Oh, here we go.
Chris Lusinger was on the show. Again, session guitar player out of Nashville. And he actually did all of Garth Brooks' demos way back in the day when Garth was a demo singer in Nashville. So Chris is the one who really has been with Garth from the start, from before the start. So I reached out to Chris and I said, hey, I see you're coming to Indianapolis. I said, I would like to come shoot the show. And he says, all right. And he gives me the contact information for the people I need to reach out to. But no, I have no response.
Yeah, I sent to his manager, because there's a website that I use to look up PR and things like that. And there's no PR. Right, it's just manager. Yeah, just manager. So I emailed him and I said, hey, we'd love the opportunity to come over and photograph the show, blah, blah, blah. Crickets. That's frustrating, that you want to cover a show and you send out emails to PR, you send them to tour managers, sometimes depending on the way, and you hear nothing back. And I'll give you, for instance, Youngblood. You've heard of Youngblood, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I had his show. I talked to his PR. I was good to go for Columbus. He canceled that show, weather or something, I can't remember what. And then I was going to have to do Cincinnati. Well, because I got Columbus, they didn't give me Cincinnati. Then he rescheduled for August 2nd. We were approved. I was approved for the show. I'm thinking this is the same week as that AC/DC bullcrap that I ended up with. Got reconfirmed on Saturday that I was approved. Sunday morning at 4:00 in the morning, I got an email from the PR people saying management pulled all credentials.
Oh.
I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's just, you get your hopes up and you're like, this is a show that I really want to shoot, and this is the one I really want to get. And then the ones that I don't think I'm going to get, the big ones, I get. And some of the smaller ones that I really want to do, I don't get. And they're just starting out. And I'm like, you want to get this PR out there, right? You want media, because you want to get your name out there. Why are you not allowing, or why is maybe you need a new PR team, because they're not responding to what people want, that are asking. And it is frustrating, and it's hit or miss sometimes. I went 3 weeks without an approval. And then last week I had 7 days straight. and then I'm off for a couple days this week. Hopefully we have In Vogue and TLC. I forget who the third band is. Oh, Salt and Pepper. That's Friday, I believe.
Yeah, they were just down in Nashville. I think it was yesterday.
They're great on stage, by the way. I mean, they're still really good.
Right.
I mean, I say that like they're really super old, but they still look great, and they still sound great, and they still put on a great show. Yeah, but after that, I'm like, I've got a ton next week, which I'm very thankful that I'm able to hopefully do them. Yeah, Rock Orchestra, Alabama Shakes, Dog Star, Empire of the Sun, Jason Aldean. I might have to miss that because I have a wedding.
Well, hey.
Not might have to miss it. I do have to miss it.
If you need someone to sub for Jason, I'll gladly do that for you.
We haven't. It's Monday, and I still haven't got approvals yet, which is great. Well, sometimes you don't hear till the day of.
I know.
And that's Five Finger Death Punch. They said their management said, well, you have an in, so you obviously got the photograph because you have an in with Five Finger. But they never heard back from PR for all the photographers. Yeah. They said, we had a glitch with something, technical problems.
Well, I was only able to shoot from front of house.
That's all probably we would have shot from anyways. Riverbend has been typically front of the house, not pit. There's been rarely that we're in the pit.
See, now,
at Riverbend, which is weird.
This is one I wanted to talk about too, because I went and shot Chicago and Styx, was it last week or the week before?
Right.
And I was in the pit, and I got great photos of Chicago, or at least I thought they were great. Mm-hmm. Nice portrait up close, but Styx said no. They said,
I heard that. I heard that. So Toby got that, and because they wouldn't allow sticks, and because Chicago was only the trumpet player was only original, right? He's like, I photographed him before. I'm not wasting my time because I really want to photograph sticks again. So he didn't even bother going.
Yeah.
And I heard that from a lot of photographers. Foreigner Leonard Skinner was the same thing.
Really?
There was some, we weren't allowed to photograph Foreigner, I think, and Skinner was like 2 songs, and everybody was like, why? I mean, you're putting so many stipulations on it. I don't want to do it. This was Styx. It was the guy, Kevin, from his REO Speedwagon band, and then Don Felder for this show. This was last summer.
Right.
And funny thing is about that show is that there was probably 9 photographers for this show, and we were in the pit. But we went, I'm thinking I'll go to the left side, we'll whatever, and these kids can be on the right side. Well, they had a sub right in the middle, and you couldn't get by it. Usually you can get by, you could not get by this thing. So me and this other guy, Tony, who's another great photographer, Tony Wagner out of Cincinnati, we were stuck on the left side, right? We're on the side of the keyboard player, which he's great. He flares, he does a lot of fun stuff. But, we want to see Tommy Shaw. I wanted to photograph Tommy Shaw. Tommy Shaw never came over till like the end of the 3rd song, and he saw us over there, and we're like, dude, I actually kind of waved at him like, dude, come over here. And he turned towards us and did that. Meanwhile, the kids, I say kids, but they're 20s, early 20s, right? And they're all not shooting Tommy.
Right.
They're shooting.
Nobody knows who he is. He's the old guy on stage.
No, and Tony and I are screaming at him, like, get Tommy, photograph Tommy. So we felt bad after because we're laughing about it. We're just dying over on our side. Of course, we're like, they have no freaking clue who this guy is. And we get there and we're like, why didn't you photograph Tommy? It's like, that's all we could photograph because we couldn't get to the other guy. We got tired of photographing him. I'm like, all right, so I kind of get that, but still, it's Tommy Shaw.
Right.
I mean, it's Styx. It is Styx. Well, it's funny because there's artists like, obviously, Barry Manilow. I photographed him a couple of weeks ago. Didn't think he was actually going to be there because he had that incident the night before. But they don't want you shooting up close. And for him, too, I'm actually surprised that he actually allowed photographers. I mean, he's older. He's aged, but he's not vain about it, which is
right.
He loved it. Yeah. He was having a great time up there. I love that about him. I've had photographers or have artists where we were getting ready to shoot, and they were like, okay, well, they want you back here. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I've got a long enough lens. I can still get a good tight shot. And they're like, Mr. So-and-so doesn't like tight shots. I basically said, okay, I got it. In the back of my head, I'm going, screw that. Now you piss me off. Now I'm going to get a tight shot. Now you just don't tell me I can't do that because now I'm a rule follower. I will say that if they tell me I can't do things typically, I mean, I'll still do some shots, but if I'm here, I'm not allowed to go here. I don't break rules. I don't believe you should take those risks. One, if you do it too many times, somebody's going to get pissed off and they're going to bar you from coming to their venue. That list is going to be out there that this person does not listen or they've done things for the artist. There's been other things that I've seen and I've stopped some of these younger photographers. I'm like, don't do that unless you want to stop shooting because they're gonna know you eventually and they're gonna go, no, he can't shoot here. You got to be mindful. There's etiquette. There's pit etiquette. There's photographer etiquette. You're a photographer first, fan second, fan third, really. If they throw a pic to you, you give it to the crowd. You don't keep it unless you're backstage like you and they say, here, take a pic. That's fine. But I'm always a photographer first. I have the coveted
wall of backstage passes.
Just pass photo passes. Yeah, that's. I mean, when you get a wristband or you get just like the house photo pass, and it's not the artist photo pass, you're like, son of a bitch. I mean, that's the whole reason I'm here.
I don't know if you could see them, but that's.
You have them all back there.
This whole shelf.
Yeah. It was funny because I've been doing it for so long. COVID happened, right? And there was no more concerts for a while. we're sitting around. And I'm starting to go through all my photo passes. I'm like, you know what? I need some artwork for my room, for my office. And I could probably fill up 3 more of those right now. And that's just in the last year, 2 years. I just thought it makes a nice piece of art. I sticky tape them. I don't take the paper off of them. I keep them because someday, I mean, my kids, they'll be worth more to them than they will to me. But that's the coveted thing. As a photographer, that's what you want. You want these badges. You don't need no stinking badges. That's upside down. What is that? Is that 5 finger? I hate your guts right now. I photographed them up. Okay, so I photographed them up in Columbus 2 years ago, and there was a video where he jumped. Somebody was having a convulsion. They were having a seizure. Come to find out, it was a drug OD. He jumped off the stage and helped the paramedics because he'd had a thing in the past, I guess, where he almost died from an OD or something. Is that true? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I think that's something
Sounds
he
right.
had that experience, but he jumped down off the stage. We got rushed out of the pit, and paramedics came in while this person was convulsing, and it was awful. It was scary to see, but to watch him jump off the stage and actually help this person was pretty cool. I mean, he's heavy metal, but he's got a big heart. So he's got a heavy heart. So that band itself is fun to photo. Although, did you shoot them? Did you photograph? You did. You photographed. How was their lighting?
It was amazing.
Like
absolutely amazing.
Like bright lights or greens and reds? Because we had greens, reds, and yellow.
Reds, blues, had all the spectrum of colors.
But did he have spots on him?
They did have spots, yeah.
Son of a...
I think let me see.
A lot of ours were just color. I mean, it was not... Brantley Gilbert, who opened up for him, was almost too hot a lighting. He had flames. Were you front of the house?
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah, they had great... Oh. Go back up. Oh, I love those. Go back up. No, flames right there with all the white.
Yeah.
That's a great shot. See, they didn't let anybody in the pit?
No.
That sucks.
And I mean, if they did, I didn't even notice. But
now, their people said that nobody got approved, or they sent it in too late. It was like, oh well, we had technical problems. We never. The people at the venue said we never heard back from PR. So
well, I got lucky only because.
Well, you've been in the business a long time. You have friends. I get it. I mean. Yeah. You're in a sweet spot. You could shoot. If you don't start shooting a ton of shows, I'm gonna come down to Newport and I'm gonna find you.
I'm trying, buddy. I'm trying. But no, I mean, I won't say great friends or anything, but I'm good friends with the front of house engineer. So it made it very easy for me to go to front of house.
Yeah. Those are the connections. It's it's not what you know, it's who you know, and a lot of, especially in this industry. Unfortunately, I mean, I've been doing this a long time. We put in for press passes all the time. I don't know a lot of people. What's funny is I'll get, like the other night, now, right, it's totally tubular. There's all these 80s bands and they're older, right? And it was Men Without Hats, Tommy Two-Tone.
Which are great bands, though.
Oh, they were great. The Escape Club, Animotion, one of my favorite bands from the 80s, The Producers. And then Flock of Seagulls. And yeah, there's that shot. But I mean, they've reached out to me and they wanted the shots. So is it one of those things where hopefully it pays forward? I hope so. You just never know. My wife keeps saying, you need to go on tour. And I'm like, I'm 60. I don't know if these bands want a 60-year-old tour photographer. Right. And she's like, no, I just want you out of the house. Go somewhere, get out for a while. But I don't think I could do a tour, though. Maybe a week or two.
Yeah, well, go with the country artists. They only go out on weekends.
Do they?
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. Family first? I don't know. That, you know what? Now I'm going to have to look up. To see if you're right on that. No, every country show, you might be right.
I know.
I'm going to have to go back to my calendar.
Like even the guy I mentioned earlier, Jeff King or Chris Lusinger, the guy out with Garth Brooks, they're studio musicians first. They're in the studio typically Monday through Friday recording records. Then they go out on the weekends with Garth or Brooks and Dunn. Now, Garth might be a little bit more special, might be out for a period of time, but most of them are weekend only.
That's interesting. You know what? I don't think I ever realized that. To me, and the thing is, I didn't know about venues either. I always thought the venue went out and got the shows. They do, but the shows go to the venues.
Right.
I didn't learn that till maybe as an idiot. I didn't learn that till about the last 5 years. I didn't realize that the actual bands, they go and say, "Hey, we'd love to have you here." Okay, then the show rents out the venue.
Right.
Now there's several venues that would rather give them the venue because they know they're going to make it on beer sales and other things, and maybe a piece of the merch. But I didn't know that, and so that's interesting that the country's only going out on weekends. And see, you learn things every day.
There you go. All right, sir. Well, we do this thing here we call Unsung Heroes, where we take a moment to shine the light on somebody who works behind the scenes or somebody who may have supported you along the way. Do you have anybody you'd like to shine a little light on?
My wife, for one, because she's the one that's pushed me to do this.
Good choice.
And she's really supported. She's like, "Go! You didn't get a show. Go do your show. I know you want to do it. That's what you love." So she's always supported me in that. The venues up here, Nutter Center. There's just radio stations. Jeff Stevens. I've worked a lot with the radio stations over the years. Nancy at K99. Just you just kind of spread yourself around a little bit. But I've worked with a lot of great people, and I've got to meet a lot of great people. We met in the pit.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, right? And you just never know. I've always told my kids, talk to everybody. You just don't know their story. You don't know who they are, and you just don't know where you're going to be with it. But yeah, I would. My wife is my biggest supporter, I think.
Smart man.
Yeah, I have 36 years of it. I gotta throw that out there first. But
all right,
yeah.
Well, there is so many other shows. I mean, you've shot thousands of shows, and there's a lot of them I'd like to talk to you about, but we'll have to bring you back on again to do that.
I'd love to. I would love to, Jay. That would be, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I've got some stories. You probably have more, but I've got some good stories as well.
No, we all have stories.
We all have stories. So yeah.
Especially at, our age, we have stories.
Oh, yeah. We've walked a lot of souls through shoes and shoes out of souls, and I will do this as long as I can. I will tell you that right now. I will keep doing it. And like I said, anytime I'm in the pit, it's an absolute blast. It's a rush. Again, 3 songs, and then we drive home. But sometimes we get to stay. All
right, folks. Well, we have done it. We have reached the top of the hour. We've actually blown past the top of the hour. We're now at the bottom of the hour. So it does mean we have reached the end of the show. If you've enjoyed the show, please tell a friend. And if you have not, well, tell 2. You can reach out to both of us tonight over at jfranzi.com. We will be happy to keep this or any other conversation going for that matter. All right, my friend, I cannot thank you enough for joining us tonight, and I would like to leave the final words to you.
Oh, gosh, I don't do that because I have no final words. Just, live and love music. It's the thing that brings everybody together. Check me out at rentzphotography.com or check me out on Instagram, Rentz Photography. If you like my stuff, let me know. If you need somebody on tour or go backstage, let me know. I'm always willing to help. Check out Midnight Cowgirls, by the way, too. They're another hot artist that's going to be big. So, that's it. I appreciate you having me on the show, and get in the pit and have some fun.
On that note, folks, have a good night. All right, well, time for a few shout-outs. First, let's go ahead and shout out High Mountain Breezes Music. They are right in the middle of finishing their next single. However, if you haven't had a chance to check out their current single, Cats in the Cradle, please do so. They did a very good job. I think you'll be impressed. VR Knives. Vaughn Ray. He is not only a rock star, he is a knife maker. And if you are in need of a knife, please check out VR Knives. The Mark Bottolato. Mark, sir, thank you for joining us each and every week. I truly do appreciate it. Miss Kathy, thank you for joining us. It makes my heart warm every time I see you here in the show. And the question of the day, James. James, sir, thank you for joining us. I truly appreciate you being here, and I appreciate all that you do to contribute to the show. If you would like a shout out here on the show, please go ahead and visit jfranzi.com/shoutout. All right, folks, on that note, have a good night.